But we are hoping that this version of KSANTE is not strongly pro-jailed, as a champion who can be, again, appropriately powerful, but he's hard and relatively new, and if he's not extremely elite skewed and extremely agency skewed and all these
I don't know what the fuck Freak said there. He was just like,
extremely elite skewed and extremely agency skewed and all these.
Alright, yo, what's up guys, it's your bro Johnny OS. In today's video, we are going to be going over the KSANTE 14.22 adjustments. And we're also going to be going over what Freak has to say, because he actually has some intel, he has some knowledge about future potential updates for KSANTE. Now, we're going to go over, what you guys could probably see over here on the screen is over here that you can see that it's actually mainly pointed to be nerfs, but then you also see an R+E movement speed buff. We can actually go over and listen to what Freak has to say overall about KSANTE as a champion. And for all the people that like playing him, the mains, the people that want to see more content around him, because obviously for someone like me who my channel is not that big, but definitely it has been growing a lot because of KSANTE. A lot of people want to see videos about him. People like watching him. There isn't a lot of content creators who make videos for him as well. So for me moving forward, it's like a nice place where it's like, I like playing this champion. People want to watch people play this champion. It's like a good direction for me. But every time they rework, nerf, or put this champion in a weird spot, it's shaky because a lot of people either want to drop the champion, or he gets too OP, then he's always permabanned, or he's not good enough, and then he's kind of useless. There's always like these weird places. Now, personally for me, I think currently, and as soon as I tested it, I told people he was OP. Most players said he was trash because they felt like, oh, he can't move. Well, that doesn't matter. You don't need to move when you literally win your lane 99% of the time, right? The Q damage is insane in his base form. He does way too much damage in his base form. The W stun, 1.5 seconds max charge is pretty ridiculous as well. It's the difference between you being able to like hard trade with someone and then not able to trade back with you. And then yeah, like if you land that thing in lane, you just win, right? Now we're gonna go over what Freak has to say. I'm gonna stop talking for a bit. We're gonna go over what Freak had to say, but this is in his patch 14.22 preview. So if you guys are watching this, you guys should be watching this on Halloween. I'm probably gonna be dropping this later today on Halloween. This should be coming next week. Like this whole patch should be coming next week on the 6th of November. So the 6th of November, we should be seeing these changes to KSANTE. We're going to go back here and listen to what Freak has to say.
KSANTE, we are generally speaking pretty happy with how KSANTE has landed. Of course, he is a bit OP. He, is a little bit too strong after the micro patch buff. That's fine.
Okay, so what you guys didn't know about is that after they reworked him, they did do a little micro patch to actually buff him because he was very weak. And after the micro patch, it was only really after the micro patch that KSANTE became OP. I think the micro patch was either on some of his base stats and maybe his Q, and then they were like, okay, no, this is dumb. And they're basically gonna nerf his Q. I don't know by how much damage. It might be by a couple points, like a flat amount throughout the laning phase, especially. It's mainly the early game. I don't think it's going to be the scaling. It's mainly going to be early game, maybe flat amount, maybe 10-15 damage. I'm not too sure.
The cool thing is he's getting a lot of play rate. That, hey, this champion is about 1-ish% overpowered. Okay, we should nerf him then because we should make him appropriately balanced. But we are hoping that this version of KSANTE is not strongly pro-jailed, as a champion who can be, again, appropriately powerful, but he's hard and relatively new, and if he's not extremely elite skewed and extremely agency skewed and all these other things, then he can just be balanced and fun. And
I don't know what the fuck Freak said there. He was just like, and I have no idea what he said, but essentially from what I can understand from what their goal is, which I've known for a while, because I've been tracking this champion for like the past year and a half now, gonna be 2 years. Essentially they don't want this champion to only be played at the highest level.
A good champion. Now, I know longer term, the designer who worked on this update wants to do a couple of more things, some light reshapes here. I think it's all out isn't quite good enough, and base form's probably a little bit too good. So like some power shifts eventually on.
And that is something that I do 100% agree with. I completely agree with the fact that he does way too much damage in his base form, and his all-out form is like kind of trash. I do agree that his all-out form does not deal enough damage personally, going into the game, I feel as if I have a timer on this champion where it was essentially, I feel as if back in the day, at least, okay, back in the day, I'd say a couple patches ago, I mean, a lot of patches ago, I'd say the last split before they did like the whole rework, I felt as if I played this champion, I still had some presence mid to late game in terms of damage output and carry potential through damage. And now I felt as if they just kind of stripped that and put it completely into your laning phase, which is cool, but also when you think about it, isn't necessarily good for anything but the highest level of game. And the reason for that is because 9 times out of 10, especially when you're playing an Emerald, guys, if you guys play an Emerald, if you ever played an Emerald, you have an Emerald account, you know how it goes. Someone will pick Vayne, someone will pick KSANTE, someone will pick Jinx, and like, unless your team wants to really win at 20 minutes, the game probably won't be won at 20 minutes. And then whoever has the better comp at 30 to 35 minutes will generally just win the game. That's, you know, and that used to be where KSANTE kind of used to shine a little bit, because the way his passive used to scale was a true damage. It actually used to benefit you going later into the game. You would have these types of matchups where it's like, okay, well, all I have to do is not feed early game, and then mid to late game, I will be able to like potentially carry damage wise in fights. You know, I can actually pick someone off and actually kill them. Now, obviously, they removed your ankles. Your ankles are busted. You can't hop walls. The dash is like pretty shit, and that's why they're buffing it. That might be a little bit of a helper to, you know, at least help you deal some damage, because now it's not even about the fact that it's like you don't deal damage. It's like you can't even deal damage because your dash is trash. So now that the dash is going to be faster, which is something that I do think was a little needed. If you're going to make the dash shorter, why did you make it? I mean, yeah, if you're going to make it shorter, why make it slower too? Because they made it way too slow. And it was to the point where it's like, okay, well, now I just can't get to people, period. So yeah, so essentially they're going to be adding the all-out movement speed. They're going to make it better. I don't know by how much. It might be on the PB soon. It might be on the PB already. Might do a video to test it out to see how that is, but it's not going to be making that crazy of a difference in terms of his win rate. It's just going to make it so it's like, now you can actually stick to people, and you're not necessarily forced to use your Q all the time to line up some of your abilities. Because you can actually just line them up directly with your E, or you could just use your E in general to like potentially line up your W, or you can use your E to actually just stick to people to dodge abilities properly. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to have some more maneuverability going on into these skirmishes, which I think is much needed, especially after they made that you guys can't hop over walls. Anyways, going on from there. So like I was saying, right now, KSANTE is in a position where if he is in like the highest ranks, I'm going to say anything from like Diamond 1, maybe Diamond 2 and higher, he is busted. He's broken. And all these ranks, most players will say he's broken. And a lot of people who say he sucks, I can understand why they say he sucks, is because a lot of these players probably play in lower elo, where they find that now they can't, you know, they can't run away from people anymore. They can't escape ganks anymore. His dash is shit. So they just feel like they can't really stick to people, because in uncoordinated play, which is lower elo, normally you would use your dash or your movement speed, or like your movement abilities to kind of help, you know, you reposition it in fights, or to just target the people that you need to kill, right? If I'm playing solo queue and like silver elo, I want to be able to just dash onto the Ashe and two-shotter. You can't do that anymore as KSANTE. Fair. But now I can't even get even relatively close to even like auto attacking her, even if I should be able to. You get what I'm saying? Like, in these situations where I should be able to, it's like I get hit by one Ashe auto attack and I'm getting kited like there's no fucking tomorrow. So it's like, you know, there's like certain things where it's like it needs to kind of come back midway to where it's like it feels like I can actually play the game at times, and there's a lot of times where I feel like I just can't even play the game, and it's kind of cringe. I personally think, in terms of what they're going to do to help change this champion, is they're going to give him a little bit more, either more mid-game presence on his all-out form, but maybe taking damage away from his W, and maybe just make his auto attacks deal more damage or something like that. Like, the overall damage that on his abilities is going to be higher, because I think because like his W damage right now is stupid. Like, they just made it like it's like super noob Like, I can show you guys some clips of me just one-shotting people because they ran into me. You get what I'm saying? Like, this ability is literally like, if the enemy team runs into you, you basically have to bait them to run into you like a set W. Um, and you don't even have that proper type of setup, because normally for set, you E them, W them, and then if you land that, you basically just one-shot them. Or W flash, which, you know, in this case, I can't even flash. So, if these enemies run into you and you get a good W, you'll just one-shot them. Like, it's stupid. It's actually disgusting. It's like Freak was kind of talking about.
Base kit versus ulti kit. This is basically just a very, very, very small version of that. It's like, well, we went nerf by 1%, so here's the Q nerf. And then he had actually meant for the RE dash to be faster. It wasn't, so it's like, this is going to be basically 0 win rate. It's going to be like 0.1% win rate worth of your ground dash during all out is a little bit faster. Again, this is not actually meant to be win rate impacting. It's just meant to be like, this was intended from the start. Here you go. This is what's supposed to happen here. And then at some point when he has time,
I'm sure what happened was just Riot was just like, no. Just like fucking just gut him a little bit. Let's just make it. We'll see. Like, we'll see. Like this, and like right now, you know, people keep complaining about how this champion is too mobile. Let's just keep it shitty for now, and then we'll see. And now they're probably like, okay, yeah, maybe he does need, his ankles are way too busted, and his ankles are fucking broken. Thank you, Riot, because I'm telling you guys, like, it is sad. It is sad. Like, the dash is not it's not a dash, bro. It's like a fucking it's like a fucking sidestep, bro. It's like it's a fucking Call of Duty slide, bro. Like, it's nothing crazy.
He's really busy, also really smart, but really busy. He wants to do some light reshapes around where KSANTE's power budget comes from. But again, we're actually pretty happy. I'm personally very happy with roughly how he's landed and what's kind of going on here.
Okay, so that's kind of it for the most part, guys. You guys heard it from the man, the myth, the legend himself, Freak. KSANTE is still going to be getting some changes over time, and obviously, I think they're doing the good thing. Instead of trying to just do like a really crazy thing all in one shot, I know people aren't going to be happy with it, but you're going to have the people who are going to complain about this champion to the dawn of time. You have the people who are never going to be happy with where this champion is going to land at the end of the day. No matter what, at the end of the day, I'm a supporter of this champion. I think this champion is really cool. Thematically wise, the way his kit works and everything, it's a champion that fits what I like the most. A champion that can able to peel and then potentially go and fight. I think the concept is really, really, really dope. Some people think it's broken and it's stupid and it's shit, but I'm like, you have champions like Rengar that would one-shot you with Q. And I get it. A lot of these players don't probably play ADC or play like a mages. They probably play like Darius and shit, and they weren't getting one shot, or playing tanks and they weren't getting one shot. Rengar was also kind of one-shotting tanks too back in the day. So, I mean, Kha'Zix used to go invisible from across the map and one-shot people. Diana was just broken on release. I don't know what else to fucking tell you. Like, there's just all these champions that over time were really, really, really broken. And I can understand where the frustration comes for KSANTE in this version of League of Legends. But if you guys go back in like the previous versions of League of Legends, champions were just always overtuned. There's always champions that were released that were busted. There's only a limited amount of champions that were not that strong upon release. Heck, if anything, KSANTE was probably one of their worst champions on release. He was literally a turret hugger. I went from diamond to gold. If you see over here, season 2022, this is when KSANTE got released. Now, this account, you guys might be like, oh, dude, you're platinum. Like, I stopped playing the game a lot around this time, and I actually played on different accounts. So, but anywho, I went to gold. Right, I went to gold because I played KSANTE. I don't know if I can show you the past. There used to be a thing. I think it's down here. Past seasons. Look, I'll show you guys. Past seasons. Let's do season 2022. Look at this. I had a 35% win rate with KSANTE. Right. I was practicing GP for fun. I played some like Lulu. I think I don't remember what happened. Okay, this doesn't matter. Like, this, none of this really fucking matters. You guys can say like my stats are trash. They were trash. But anyways, like I said, the 35% win rate was KSANTE, and I still got 2 quads. To go figure. Even when he was trash. This is before the tank items came out. But just still a 35% win rate overall. But I was able to get 2 quadra kills on a new champ, which is a 35% win rate. You get what I'm saying? So like this champion just on release just was terrible. He did not land well. And then obviously with tweaks, with items, etc., 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 he became kind of the quote unquote monster he is today. I could keep going on about it a long time, but I mean, with Jackshow that came out and stuff like that, the champion definitely was a little overtuned. But let's be real, any champion that built Jackshow was overtuned. Fucking, you had people building Jackshow on literally fucking everything. That's it for me, guys. This video is a little long as it is. I'm probably going to cut some parts out, so it might be like around an 18-minute video, maybe 15. Yeah, it might be like a 15-minute video. But yeah, let me know down below what you guys think about these changes, and also let me know what you guys think the future changes are going to be. I'll be making a video about it. Stay tuned for that one. All right, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.